Hello, Miss Sirmon. You are running for County District Judge, the 108th District, and so we want to give our listeners just an opportunity to kind of get to know you and what you're about and what you plan to bring to the seat. And got to get the readers on here. Tell us a little bit about your training, experience, and background that qualifies you for this position.
Thank you, Rhonda. The title is Judge 108th District Court. It's not a county court. It's a statewide district court. But they're elected by county, which is Potter in this case. I've been a judge, an attorney in Amarillo for 35 years this year, practiced law for 11, and 24 years I served as a judge in the Potter County Courthouse. I did 20 years as the judge of the County Court at Law Number 2, and I did 4 years as District Judge, 320th District Court. So that's my training and experience.
You know, when we're talking about the 108th District Judge in that court, let's face it, the docket seems to be growing by the minute. Is there anything you can do to control that docket and to keep it within I hate to put it like this, a workable situation?
That's an excellent question. That's one of the things that I'm offering over the other people that are running for this court, because I have run a court in the past. It's not new to me. It is different practicing law and being a judge. Being a judge is about having a plan and working your plan and setting your docket and making it move. We have gotten behind. We got behind because COVID. We got behind because we had a change in leadership in the district attorney's office. We just got behind because all of a sudden lawyers all went home during COVID. We've had a reduction in our workforce here in Amarillo. And Potter County, I think, has been very forward-thinking, along with Armstrong, coming in with the public defender's office, and that is growing our defense lawyers. We have a new district attorney. He came in July of 2023, and so he is restaffing that office. 2 years ago, they were 7 lawyers short. Can't move cases if you don't have lawyers. And so I think we're really seeing a turnaround in the courthouse. That is, people, you have to have your prosecutor, you have to have your defense attorney, and your judge has to have his courtroom open and moving in order to move those cases through the docket.
One of the things that we like to address when we talk to candidates is the ever-growing subject of mental health. And it's obviously just on the rise. You know, people are needing more and more help. How should the court address these issues of those that come before the court?
Excellent question, because it is our issue. Our jails have become our mental health facilities. You're picked up on, you're either self-medicating because your mental health issues, that means drugs and alcohol, that puts you in jail, or you're not using your drugs and therefore you're making your prescription drugs and you're making poor choices. It's the untreated mental health. I just got through representing a young lady that we put in Potter County, got arrested, drugs in her pocket. And oh my gosh, it took me weeks to get her before a physician, to get her evaluated, to get her on the schedule, because they only see so many a week. And when I'd call the jail and tell them that they have a problem child here, they'd say, no, she's quiet in the pod. She causes no problems. But if she can't communicate with her lawyer, I can't move her case. We got her on prescription drugs. She actually spent 180 days in our county jail. We just got through releasing her. She's out, and we're hoping for good things. That she's connected with a family member that will help her get her meds, get her where she needs to be. So what does the court need to do? The court needs to identify those people as soon as possible. And that is working hand in hand with the lawyers that are appointed to represent them. You cannot just appoint a lawyer and not expect them to come to court and tell you what's going on. When I was a judge, that was one of the first things I did within 30 days. Get you a lawyer and have the lawyer come to court and tell me what's going on in your case. Don't put your court on a docket 3 months from now, because everybody moves what's happening right in front of them. So if you can get your case and know that you need to speak to your person and come to the court and account for what's the plan, is this going to be a trial case, a plea case? Do we need discovery? We need investigation. And so I think it's picking up a case quicker in the process, getting to it quicker, that will help us.
Well, this is a symbiotic relationship. The judge, the public defender, the prosecutor, and everybody else involved. This is definitely, to get this stuff moving, it has to be symbiotic. Everybody has to work off the same page.
That is exactly right. And I think we have the right people in place to get that started in the county. I think we got into 2020, let's face it, we closed the courthouse for 11 months.
Right.
Everybody went home and everybody had their own, what do we need to work our way back out of this? And I think we all have come back into the courthouse in the last year and a half, and we're seeing these cases move in, and we're seeing the new programs. We do have a mental health court in Potter County, but they're only 20, 30 cases at a time. So we need a bigger net than that to keep our cases moving.
Are there hundreds of cases that need to be dealt with? Or what kind of numbers are we looking at on these mental health issues?
On the mental health, you'll ask anybody, is it a mental health or a criminal issue? So we can't all call them mental health issues, right?
Right.
Some are choice issues. Some are addiction issues, which again, run hand in hand sometimes with mental health. So you can't call them all mental health issues. Why does somebody, rob a bank? Why does somebody rob a totem? Is it mental health or need for money for drugs? I don't know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a large number.
Absolutely. I mean, and to that point, though, from the connection with the community and with the powers that be, whether it be with law enforcement, whether it be with, judges, attorneys, the list goes on and on. From the community perspective, I'm sure there are a lot of people that have this preconceived notion of, obviously with the decisions that people make, good, bad, or indifferent, that there's this weird back and forth, this weird kind of just friction or tension, if you will, when it comes to being to the court office, working with law enforcement, whatever the case may be. But being in these types of positions, it's very much still with the idea of having the community's best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's making sure that you're looking after them, making sure that you're putting them in the right place, reprimanding them for the right reasons, rather than just throwing stuff to the wall and different things of that nature. Talk a little bit more, I should say, just about with the outreach, the connection with the community, and just having their best interest at heart, being in a position like this.
Why do people make the choices they make? That's such a great question. I've got a kid that came out of TDC for burglary of vehicles.
Right.
And he got home to Amarillo, and the first day he got arrested on warrants that he picked up before he left. And so he sat in jail for 6 weeks to deal with that. And then they released him, and he has twice now been arrested for burglary of vehicles again. It's like, why is he making the choices he's making? What can we do to encourage him to get off the path that he's on? When I talk to him, I know he's got drug issues, but he also has, this need to, I want to get back in with people. I want to be back in the community, but it's so hard. It's easier to just go back to what I was doing than to, get a job, keep a job, and get where I'm going. I think our community is very open to, you need to employ people that have criminal records. That's important. Finding those people jobs. The community service department, what we call probation,
Mm-hmm.
we got a new leader for that department. She was selected in 2021, I think, and they've done a very good job, I think, of being, re-entry and accountability. We used to have the old snatch and catch them. You put them on probation as soon as they didn't show up or had one drug test wrong. We snatched them up, we put them back in the jail. And I think we're doing a better job with our programs, knowing that people don't change the first day. You have to work with them. You catch them, you talk to them, and you put them back out, and you give them better tools to work with.
Absolutely. We're coming up a little bit on time, pardon me, but again, Ms. Sirmon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Obviously, March 5th is the date. Get out there to the polls if you have not already, and best of luck as we get into these next couple of days and weeks. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with more of the chat right here on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2.